All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the first episode of this very casual podcast. We are going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 today. I am joined by my special guest, Cheezy.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate you. Where can everyone find you, by the way?
That's a tough question these days. I mean, I guess, TikTok is back or whatever, but you can find me on
Right.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Nintendo Powercast, and Communication Error. Those are two podcasts that I'm on. And yeah, you can find me at CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
Very cool. I've actually listened to that Into the Power podcast before. I like it. It's really good stuff. So,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, I'm like all over on YouTube. So, yeah, you could find Cheesy there. And of course, you could find me, Cooltrainer Andrew, on Twitch. I have a Cooltrainer Andrew profile there. Also on YouTube. Instagram, and I guess TikTok. Like you said, it's back now, so cool.
I guess so. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, so Nintendo revealed the Switch 2 just a couple days ago, and what are your initial thoughts on the system? How do you like the, let's say, like the exterior of it, the design?
Um, I mean, I think I like it. It's a little different,
Hmm.
for Nintendo. So like I completely understand where people are saying like this doesn't look like a Nintendo console. Like, yeah, it's just the Switch that is, beefier or whatever. But I like that they have the like red and blue coloring inside of the joystick and then on the rails on the outside of the rails as well, or like whatever snaps into it. Um but as far as like personality wise and Nintendo and like the colorful charm, it's not there yet. And I'm sure they'll have like special edition Switch 2s or whatever that we'll see more of that. Um, but right now, I think as it's revealed as a Nintendo console, it's like it's just different, Like I don't know how I feel about it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments and a lot of fans saying like, "Oh, it just looks too similar. Like Nintendo didn't invent the wheel enough. They didn't make it crazy." And I'm like, "Guys, no, calm down. Like it's okay. Like this is what we asked for. It's just a bigger, better Switch, and that's what we got, right?"
I think it is totally okay to uh, for those people to like have fears about whatever it is that Nintendo didn't do or what they should have done. Because really, if you think about it, this is the first time that Nintendo is kind of just updating their previous system that is looks exactly the same. I mean, you could even say the Wii U was an upgrade, even though yeah, that was a beefier Wii,
Yeah.
but the gamepad was part of that, and they tried something different. And the Switch works. It's kind of one of those things that if it's not broke, don't fix it. Although it had issues, so hopefully
Right.
they did fix those issues. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I don't know if you're going to talk about leaks or not, but I am one of those people that believes that leaks did kind of ruin the reveal.
Hmm.
I think you can kind of blame Nintendo for it for not getting on top of the leaks, but at the same time, it's like, if they had a marketing plan, it's very hard to go around that. It's just hard when, all that information is being thrown at you and you can't really do anything to stop it.
Oh yeah, I agree. They waited way too long to show the system. They should have shown it like I'd say September last year.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they waited too long. All the leaks came out, and yeah, it did ruin the surprise. Although there is that mysterious C button that Nintendo is desperately trying to hide from us.
Yeah, and it's so weird that like they know at this point that we all know about it. Why didn't they just leave it and have people speculate? Like now that it's official that that C button is there, I mean, I guess it's not official yet, but I mean, we know it is. So it would have been fun for them to like let people just kind of speculate what it is now that it has been quote unquote officially announced or seen, you know.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think the C button stands for?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard rumors of like Connect, and
Hmm.
maybe it's like a social media platform, or it is a way to have like a dual screen from your Switch to the TV.
Oh,
Um, but I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you think it is?
I think it's capture or maybe like connect.
Yeah.
There's so many things it could be, and like trying to like predict Nintendo is like throwing like a dart on the wall and hope it sticks, because like it's just so hard to pinpoint what
Yeah.
they're doing. And one thing I'm really interested in with the Switch 2 is the little optical sensor on the Joy-Con
Hmm.
that might provide mouse-like functionality. Can you imagine playing Splatoon with that?
I am a big
Right,
Splatoon fan.
right.
So the only thing that I'm like, I guess having trouble with trying to figure out how the mouse is going to work is like it either has to be in tabletop mode or,
Hmm.
if you have your Switch docked, then you could use it as a mouse as well. But like, are people playing with like trays or like a lap desk on them or how is that going
Yeah.
to work?
That's a good question, because like if you're like trying to play it, especially handheld, and you're like trying to put the mouse functionality or whatever it is on the table,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be kind of hard. Like a lot of people like to play handheld. I can't play
Yeah.
Splatoon in handheld. That's too hard for me
Yeah, and I
personally. But
honestly, I don't think the mouse will work when it's in handheld. It's probably either
mhm,
like tabletop mode or when it's docked. I mean, maybe it does work
mhm,
handheld, but I don't know how you like hold one hand with the switch and then
right.
control So yeah, I think it'd be cool for Splatoon, for Animal Crossing is what I've heard, Pikmin as well.
Hmm.
Um, but what else could it be used for?
Jeez, like
I mean, Mario Maker is another one.
Mario Paint. I heard that could make a comeback.
Yeah,
You know, like the
yeah,
little brush.
yeah.
Gosh, maybe like I don't know. I kind of want to say like maybe a Mario Party could have something to do with it
Hmm.
too. That'd be pretty fun.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, Gosh, there's just so many things it could be. But
I mean, that's the other thing. Like, if it is that C button stands for connect and it is social media or whatever, like,
mhm,
it would be cool if there is some kind of editing software that is included.
yeah,
So, like, you could edit your gameplay and stuff like that, and it's easy to use as a mouse. Like, maybe it's not necessarily for a game, but for editing
mhm,
purposes. I don't know. I'm just thinking, what could a
yeah,
mouse be used for?
yeah. And who's to say too? They might make a new first-party IP too that maybe
Yeah,
uses it exclusively. That's on the table as well.
yeah,
I'd love to see something new from Nintendo, because I
me
think
too.
Splatoon was the last new one, right? IP
I
wise.
think technically, it's Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh, Ring Fit. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, which reminds me, so the as we know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible with Nintendo Switch games.
Hmm.
And they do say that certain games won't be available, and when you said Ring Fit Adventure, that comes to mind because you can't put a Joy-Con like this big into that little slot, right?
Right, right.
So, unfortunately, I think Ring Fit Adventure won't work. I don't think Labo will work either on that as well.
Yeah. Just because of the like peripherals that the the cardboard that was like made specifically for the Switch itself, I don't think you're gonna be able to use the Switch 2 Joy-Con on.
Did you ever play Labo? Because I definitely didn't.
I never did. I was very interested in it from a standpoint of like,
Uh
this
huh.
is super cool. Like, if I was a younger kid, I probably would really enjoy this. And I know that there are people that are older that enjoyed it. I just, for myself,
Hmm.
couldn't get myself to buy cardboard that then is just going to be placed in my closet and never seen again,
Yeah.
So yeah, I never played it.
Yeah, I totally feel that, because my wife got me the Mario Kart Circuit as a present,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, I set it up for like a month, and then just haven't touched it for a long time. So
Did you like create courses and stuff?
yeah, and I have three cats, so the cats kept attacking the the little Mario cart.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of like getting through an obstacle course at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just it sucks, but I don't think it's gonna be a tremendous loss in terms of the games we won't be able to play. I feel like it's gonna be like just a very very small pool of games that won't be backwards compatible. So we'll just have to
Yeah,
see.
I hope so. I hope it's not like, something that seems so obvious to not bring over.
Hmm.
Um, like if it was Breath of the Wild, for example, and that was could only be played on, or like you can't bring Breath of the Wild over on Switch 2, only on the Switch, that would be very upsetting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It would also be a little upsetting if they didn't offer like a free graphics upgrade, right? To like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I just got a PlayStation for Christmas, and I
Mhm.
noticed that they have the ability to basically update for free.
Uh-huh.
So I was playing like Final Fantasy VII remake, and I was just
Okay.
able to upgrade that from PS4 to PS5 for like no
Yeah.
cost. And I hope Nintendo does something like that, but they like money, so we'll see.
Sometimes it seems like
Sometimes.
they just don't want to collect money for whatever. I mean, I get it. It still is like it's a
Hmm.
family company, and it's a. I think one of the reasons that they don't want to go into
Hmm.
uh, like free to play kind of games where it's like, little Timmy or
Yeah,
little Sarah stole the credit card again and is adding Mario coins or whatever it
yeah.
is. So I get it.
Yeah, bringing up third party though, going back to the mouse functionality, I could
Yeah.
really see a lot of people playing like Overwatch 2 with that as well.
Oh yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals,
Uh
just
huh.
any like first person shooter game. If they were to bring over like maybe the new Call of Duty, that's kind of stretching, but maybe
Yeah.
if they do that, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, we do know that Call of Duty is going to be on Switch 2, so yeah, I think it could work. I'm just still trying to figure out like if it is docked, are people like I guess the best way that you would do it is use like
Yeah.
the mouse function on your leg,
Hmm.
you know, or maybe an armchair or something like that if it reads well.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Just so, yeah, so many things it could be.
yeah,
But yeah, so looking at the Switch 2 as well, I noticed that they put two USB-C ports on it. I wonder what that's all about. What are you thinking?
I mean, I love that they have a USB-C on top, because if you are playing in tabletop mode with the mouse, it would be very difficult to have that charging cable underneath.
Hmm.
So to have it up top is great. I think that is what people have been wanting for a long time.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's probably just ways to play your Switch. Either you can connect it from the top, or the USB-C down at the bottom is just for docking purposes.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. Like, there'll be times where I'm like, laying in bed playing my Switch, and oh, it'd be so much nicer if it was just like connected up top
Yeah,
instead of like
yeah,
having to like grab it from the bottom all the time.
yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be super awesome. I'm glad they did that. And then going through as well. So let's talk about the Joy Cons and how they kind of come together more like this now. Like you kind of
Uh huh.
like have to like not like
Like a
slam them
clap.
in. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
clap
yeah,
almost.
yeah.
So is that going to be the new thing? Like clap for the little
Yeah, will
sound
they
now?
snap during the directs anymore, or they will they just
Just
clap?
who,
Yeah.
That's a great question, but one thing I've noticed a lot of people online saying is that the little like chip on the
Uh-huh.
Switch console itself, a lot of people are thinking that's going to be pretty fragile. And if you have like little Timmy here with his Switch, if he doesn't put that Joy-Con in correctly, it could break that part. And I've seen back in the Nintendo DS era days where these DSs can go like down the toilet, could have a freaking BB gun shot at them. They're durable,
Right.
so I wonder if this is going to be the same or if it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people talk about, how it could be a problem. I also have seen people talk about how like this is Nintendo, they test everything. Even with the Mario Lego, the digital one, they dropped it like 6,000 times just to make sure that, it was going to work because kids are playing with it. I saw a picture of someone saying, "I don't think Nintendo thought this through," and someone had like
Yeah.
swallowed their Switch 2. Um, and so yeah, I mean, I get why someone may be upset. It also
Mm-hmm.
could just be, uh, engagement bait or whatever. But I don't think we're gonna have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I mean, Switch One did have a lot of issues day one,
Yeah.
so it will be fascinating to see if there are
Hmm.
issues with the day one on Switch 2, or if they just have learned how to correct those.
Are you planning on getting a Switch 2 day one? Are you going to be outside like GameStop in the tents?
I mean, I hope so. I don't know. Do
Yeah.
people still camp out?
Oh, probably not. It's just I thought I'd bring it up for old time's sake because, like,
No, I'm with you. Like that's how I got my Nintendo Wii. Is I
yeah,
waited outside of a Best Buy, and then the manager was like
yeah.
super cool. He bought everybody a slice of pizza that was waiting in line.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a great memory for me.
That's
But I
lovely.
also am still the type of person that will go to a GameStop and
Yeah.
make sure, or wherever I have to go, and like
Hmm.
pre-order the console. I It's too hard online these days, and scalpers, like, I just want to make sure that I know I have a pre-order in and
Hmm.
that I'm going to get it. So yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, hopefully we'll see.
Yeah, same. Like, I've heard that Nintendo plans on releasing at least 20 million copies to combat the scalping issue, but it's so hard to like really trust that. It's more like I have to see it to believe it. Um,
Well, and like whatever the views are on that trailer already is
yeah.
pretty insane. I think it was like, what is it at now?
Oh,
14
let me
million?
double check. I believe. Uh oh, the guy took us away for a sec there. Let me boop. Okay, I'm gonna move over here. Yeah.
I can look it up for you too. It's like it
Oh,
was
no
just a
worries.
crazy amount that
I think it was like 64 million.
mm, but anyway, like with talking about, where it's at 18 million in 3 days.
18 million. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't
Um
passed the Grand Theft Auto what 6 trailer yet, but hey, we could get
yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
That's
Um
awesome.
so what did you say? It was like 20 million?
I thought it was like, or yeah, 20 million is was projected by like an analyst of how many consoles Nintendo is planning to send out day one.
Yeah. I mean, it's close if you're,
Hmm.
assuming that one person per view or whatever,
Hmm.
which is probably not the case, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be big.
Okay. So moving on in the trailer, I don't know about you, but I've watched it like 15 times now. I watched it again before, getting suited up for this podcast. But
Huh?
I saw. Okay, so we obviously see a new Mario Kart being displayed with the
Yeah.
Switch 2. Now, do you think that's Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart X? Because everyone's like, "Oh no, Tours of Mario Kart 9. This is like 10 or something like that."
Yeah, I mean, I do think they count Tour as like a standalone
Hmm.
game, or part of the Mario Kart series. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, I think we're headed into X or 10 or whatever. I've heard Crossroads would be kind of a cool one because it's like the X is crossing roads.
Hmm.
So that would be kind of cool. Yeah. What did you think of it?
I thought it was really cool. I don't know if I like Donkey Kong's redesign, like from the
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, because like Donkey Kong like has this iconic like has just always had this iconic look, whether he's in Smash,
Mhm.
Donkey Kong Returns that just came out, Returns, I guess that just came out.
Yeah.
It's just the
Yep.
third time. I don't even know. I lost track, but yeah, like I really liked his older sprite, and I can appreciate Nintendo's trying to do something new and like leaning into their movie franchises more. But I
Yes.
just feel like the movie stuff should just stay with the movies. That's just my opinion.
I think it's fine if they want to go in a new direction, but it is confusing to me that like the old Donkey Kong design is part of the Donkey Kong Country land in
Hmm.
Super Nintendo World. It just Why did you not fix that if you were wanting to go in a different direction with it?
Right, because they have his original like for the Donkey Kong costume in the
Right.
theme park. So it's like
Yeah.
if they made the movie version, yeah, that would make a lot more sense. So
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna be like a one time thing, and then they might like change it again. Who knows? Um,
Yeah, or if, they did change his design and we haven't seen it in a new Donkey Kong Country game,
mhm.
and then after the game releases, then they like switch up costumes in the land in
Right.
the Super Nintendo world. that's a possibility, I guess. But yeah, I don't
I,
know.
I could see that.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, Mario Kart 9, it looks like you could have up to like 26 racers, which I don't know if that's like true or not, but if you look at the lines where
yeah,
everyone's like starting, it looks like 26 spots. So
yeah.
that could get chaotic, especially online.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just know how much people love Mario Kart, and the more the merrier, I think is the way that they're thinking. But 24 players, man, that is going to be insane.
Yeah.
And whatever the gimmick is, I'm sure is going to add to it. I would hope that that isn't the gimmick. I think there's still more to it, but that
Yeah.
already is like a huge twist to what we've had in previous games.
Yeah, everyone's talking about this takeout bag like underneath the
Uh-huh.
drive-through window, and I'm like, what are you guys
Yeah.
talking about? So,
Yeah. I don't know what that's about. Have you seen it? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's
Do
like,
you have any ideas?
gosh, like Mario Kart is so unpredictable too because you had Double Dash, which was like the two drivers, which I missed. They
Yep.
should bring that back. Then you had
Hmm.
Mario Kart Wii, which I guess was the bikes the gimmick in that one. I don't even
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And motion control.
Oh, and motion control. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was really cool. Then you have eight. We all already know the anti gravity for that. Same thing
Yeah.
with eight deluxe. So it's like, what else could they do? Maybe like you grab the bag and it gives you like maybe like a speed, kind of like a speed boost where you have like a little bar at the bottom and you can just kind of use it throughout the whole race maybe, but that might be too
Maybe.
close to like the golden mushrooms, and
Yeah.
it's like it's something you can use in like a super clutch moment, or maybe it's something that like deflects the blue shells. I'd love that. It's like, here you
I mean,
go.
they do have an item already that does that. They're just hard to get.
Yeah, the little speaker, right? You just like,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
do wonder if it's like, I don't know. This is just where my mind goes.
Uh-huh.
Is maybe it is like a delivery system.
Okay.
So maybe this new Mario Kart is like, okay, you can have the regular Mario Kart racing mode, or you can have the party mode where each course has you doing something different.
Okay.
And like that is the objective, is not necessarily getting across the quickest, but maybe like with that example, delivering the most food to
Yeah.
Mario characters or whatever.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Just like deliver the food, and then they could just get like a power up that way. Gosh,
Yeah.
I could be speculating about this for like days. Just so much it could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think of like what else they could use it for. Maybe like maybe they take the food bag and then they maybe have like car parts in it or something. Be like, hey, I want to change my tires, or I want to change my
Yeah.
little kite thing to something else. That'd be
Yeah.
weird to do it mid race, but it's kind of like a pit stop, where they take off like wheels, put new ones on. Maybe something like
I mean,
that.
it would be kind of cool if they added some kind of weather mechanic to the
Uh-huh.
games where, maybe you're racing and part of the race it's super sunny and then it starts raining, so you do have to go to the pit crew to change out tires.
Yeah, definitely. Are
Yeah.
you surprised though that they showed Mario Kart instead of like a new 3D Mario? Because we're definitely overdue for that.
Oh yeah, we're definitely overdue. I don't know. I mean, the way that Mario Kart is just selling and keeps selling, like I'm sure they're still
Yeah.
selling games even though Switch 2 has already been announced.
Hmm.
Um, it's not that surprising to me that if it is a day one release, because honestly, Mario Kart was the best way to sell the Switch. It
Yeah.
advertised itself, just pass the Joy-Con to somebody else, and now it's a two-player game.
Right.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. In terms of like Switch 2 games, though, are there any other games you think will be in like the first year of the Switch 2? I'm hoping,
Oh, first year.
yeah, first year, like maybe a new Splatoon or like a new Smash. I'd love to see a new Smash, but everyone's like, no, 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 just port Ultimate. Like, we don't need anything else.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I this is just kind of my hot take.
Hmm.
I really hope we're done with the deluxe line. I think
Yeah.
deluxe was great because people didn't play the Wii U games, so
Hmm.
it was just a good way to get people to play those games, and then maybe they added something new that wasn't in that Wii U game to begin with. Uh, I mean, if they bring over Smash, cool. I know
Yeah.
it's a great game. I just would hope that they do something new with it. Um, which I don't know what you do. It's already
Right.
one of the greatest fighting games of all time. But as far as new, like, yeah, I would love a new Splatoon. I'm sure people would be upset about that because that would be
Yeah.
like three Splatoons before a new 3D Mario game.
But you get to use a mouse this time.
Yeah. Uh,
No.
uh, I'm sure a 3D Mario will come out
Hmm.
the first year. Um, Metroid Prime Beyond is so confusing to me because
Oh.
I don't see it being like a day one seller.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people buy Metroid, as sad as that is. Um, so I don't know if that's going to be like the swan song
Hmm.
for the Switch One, um, or if they will bring it over to Switch Two as well.
I think it could be maybe like a Switch One and Switch Two game. I could see it being kind of like Breath of the Wild was, where it was on the Wii U, but then also on the Switch.
But do you see it day one?
Probably not day one. Mario Kart for sure day one, but like, I mean, I could see it in year one, but
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's tough because I've played Metroid before. I've tried. It's hard for me because I get lost a lot of the time, and the
yeah,
backtracking is really
yeah.
hard. I love the aesthetic. I love what Samus does and the characters, but like, I could see it being a little bit harder day one to get those sales definitely for Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's a big problem that people have with Metroidvanias is they don't like the idea of
Hmm.
backtracking or when they do get lost, it is frustrating. And so I totally understand that. I'm the type of person that
Yeah,
loves trying to figure out, okay, what is this puzzle? Like, why
yeah.
am I not figuring this out? There's something that is like so obvious in front of my face that I just need to
Hmm.
figure it out. And then when I do, it feels so good.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're not going to get a new Zelda
Hmm.
anytime soon because we just had Tears of the Kingdom and we just had Echoes of Wisdom. Unless, they poured over like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess or
Oh god, I'd love
I guess
Twilight Princess.
one of the DS games,
Yeah.
for the mouse purpose.
I still have no idea why it's still Twilight Princess and Wind Waker still isn't on the Switch after all this time. Like
Yeah.
Jeff Grubb kept saying, "Oh, it's gonna come, guys. It's gonna come, guys," and then it never did. And I'm just like, how could he not put like, in my opinion, like the best Zelda game on the Switch? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I wonder if it for Nintendo is like, "Nah, we just had it on Wii U HD for both games." But it does seem like something that would be easy to just bring over.
and the Wii U price of Twilight Princess is like astronomical right now. Like for the
Oh, really?
HD, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like over $100, and I'm just like, jeez. So, but yeah, that'd be cool. I'm kind of wondering maybe like Arms too, bring it back.
Hey, I would love that. I think Arms is very underrated. I love the character
Yeah.
design. I know some people say that like Switch 2 is or not Switch 2. Splatoon 2 is what killed
Hmm.
Arms. Um,
Oh.
but I don't really know if it killed it. I think they just didn't have enough support that they were looking for. Uh, and honestly, I do think like a story mode could have been really nice, especially with the lore that is in Arms. Like a lot of people don't know that there's lore, but yeah, I mean, with the masks that they wear, like that's all part of how they become the characters that they are. And yeah,
That's so interesting too, because they're like two different genres. One is a fighter, and then one is a shooter. So it's like, how can one game like kill off the other? I don't get
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, totally.
That's crazy. All right, well, yeah, I mean, there's just so many games that could come out. It's just one of those, like, we'll have to wait and see. Like, I'm a big Pokemon fan, and I'm super excited for Legends ZA, and
Yeah.
I would totally buy the Switch 2 to play that, like, day one. Um,
Are we getting like a Pokemon Presents anytime soon? Has that been rumored?
yes, Pokemon Day is February 27th.
Oh yeah, so that's usually around that time,
Yeah,
right?
yep,
Yeah,
usually around that time, and they have never missed the Pokemon Day before, so we'll be getting some news on that very soon. And my
that's cool.
prediction, yeah, my prediction is it's going to be a Switch 1 and a Switch 2 game. Um,
Oh, okay.
because they already announced it for Switch 1, so it's like you
That's
might
a good
as
point.
well make it for the Switch 2 as well, so people will want to
Yeah.
like buy it. and
When do you think Switch 2 is coming out?
Oh, that's a great question. So my bet is June. I think it's going to be like June or July in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right around there. It's just weird to, we'll get that
Yeah.
reveal trailer or whatever it is, more information I guess on Switch 2 April 2nd,
Yes.
but then you still have to wait a few months for it, and I think there's just so many people, myself included, that are like, all right, like
Yeah.
I'm someone who is, I think, very patient,
hmm
but it's also like, man, this is kind of been a long wait,
hmm
especially with last year. Like their games were okay that they released,
hmm
but no like big bangers.
Yeah. Yeah, and oh my gosh, like yeah, we've just been waiting so long, and I don't know about you, but I wasn't too like I wasn't too thrilled about the like trailer itself. I really liked the Switch One trailer where you were having rooftop parties, you were with your homies in the van playing like
Yeah,
NBA 2K, and I'm
yeah.
like, the hardware is great, but like I kind of miss that type of interaction of like just people taking it everywhere and like showing it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably see more of that in the April 2nd
Yeah.
trailer. I'm sure they have like a
hmm
pre-made trailer before they give us all the information, or after they give us all the information.
hmm
But that's kind of the thing with Switch. It was just so cool to see because it has never been done before. Like
hmm
that was so exciting. And then you have all these leaks that are coming out, and then like it's the big gimmick. Let's just say that the only gimmick of it is the mouse. Like that would have been really fun to see in the trailer for the
hmm
first time. And maybe there are people that did get to see that and they didn't see the leaks, so that's like super exciting for them. Um, but I don't know what you do with the Switch that already hasn't been done. That
hmm
like yeah, they're changing it up to where you like clap on the Joy-Con instead of slide them.
hmm
Um, but it's like you already know what this thing is. Yeah, we made it beefier. It's gonna play a little better. We know you're gonna buy one. That's kind of how it feels.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about the name Switch 2? Were you expecting like Super Switch or Switch Attach or anything crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I personally I think it is boring. It is a
Yeah.
very smart. It's a smart name. Like they made the right decision. I just think for Nintendo, it's just weird. And I do kind of hope that we're not going in a direction of Nintendo losing their charm and their fun, and I don't think that's going to happen because we have the movie, we have the theme park, but
hmm
um just more wackiness in their games and just what makes them great. I hope they don't leave that behind.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially since we lost like Reggie. I love that guy. Like,
Oh,
Reggie
yeah.
Fils-Aimé is just the king of
Yeah. I
of
do wonder
fun.
if it's like Iwata and Miyamoto and Reggie, like, how goofy they were in their
hmm
directs and the skits that they would do. Part of me wonders if that's like just a three of them thing and they don't want to try to
hmm
recapture that or try to like replace it in any kind of way. But I do wish that Doug Bowser was a
hmm
little more fun and less corporate.
Yeah, he is very corporate, very all business, and
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of where a lot of these game companies are these days. Like, look at Phil Spencer, right? Like that guy is just all
Yeah,
business all the time, and yeah, I mean it is what it is. But yeah, I'm hoping that they can still incorporate that fun, especially with a new console launch, because it's just such a special time, and we don't
yeah,
get them very often.
yeah.
Um, which brings me to my next point. They're actually having a like Switch 2 showcase in select locations. Are you gonna try and go?
Oh, sorry, I lost you for a
Oh,
second.
you're good. So, bringing it to my next topic here is that the Switch 2 is going to be having a bunch of hands-on
Hmm.
activities within
Hmm.
several states. I believe it's like Texas, California, Canada, I think, and one other place.
New York?
New
Is New
York?
York
Yeah,
one?
that's right, New York.
Yeah.
Are you planning on trying to get in? I know it's a lottery base.
Absolutely not. I
No.
mean, even if I did try, I have
Yeah.
a newborn right now, so I think it would be
Right.
very hard to
Oh yeah.
kind of travel just to
Mhm.
play with the Switch 2. I mean, I would love it,
Mhm.
but I think I can also just wait until I can play it myself.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you try to
No.
get in?
I was thinking about it, but it's like in April, and I just have so much like stuff going on, like weddings and some family stuff. So it's like, oh man, I can't do it. Maybe if it was like in June or something, but then the console's going to be released probably by then. So
Yeah.
I'm with you
Yeah.
on that. I think we can be patient, but it is nice to be one of the few that can actually get hands on with it. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get some like pretty cool merch. I
Yeah.
know that like if you go to PAX, like
Uh huh.
one of my co-hosts on the Nintendo Powercast, or two of them,
Hmm.
N64 Josh and Crawler, they went to PAX one year and they have like a special 2024 PAX icon that they can use for their Switch.
Oh.
Or no, it's Nintendo Live because that was when Nintendo Live went to
Oh yeah.
PAX. So they have like a special Nintendo Live icon on their Switch profile.
Oh, that's super cool. I've always wanted to go to PAX. It looks so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Um, and especially a Nintendo Live event too. Like, oh my gosh, it'd be so fun to do. I know the last one got canceled because of like mean people, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I hope they bring it back. Like, geez, bring something to like Denver. Like, gosh, we don't get anything fun. We don't get anything fun here. Like,
Yeah, every once in a while they do the
yeah.
I forget what it was called. I went to it. It was like the Switch Play event or something like that.
Oh, at the.
And
Mhm.
yeah, you could play and I mean, as a Nintendo fan, it was kind of silly because I've already played these games that they're demoing, but it was just like the experience of going there and it was like a Kirby area that was set up and then they had the Switch Sports area that was set up and so
Oh,
I guess
okay.
like the like dressing was really cool to see.
Hmm.
But that was like pretty much it.
Yeah. I think I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Was like the mall event, right? Where it's like the
Yeah.
summer of
Yeah.
play. Yeah, I've been trying to get to that too. Um, maybe next or maybe this year, if they bring it
Yeah.
back, it'd be really
Oh
fun.
yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to stray too far away from the Switch 2. So, price wise, what are you thinking? I'm thinking $3.99 myself.
Yeah. No, I think that's good.
Hmm.
If they have like another base model that they haven't shown, then I think they could price it at 450. So they
Hmm.
have like the Switch 2 and then maybe the Switch 2 Pro. I mean, I
Yeah.
know we've been saying Switch Pro for years now, so kind of hope that that goes away. But at the same time, if they have one available, that will be nice. But yeah, 400 I think
Hmm.
is a good price, especially for families and with the Switch being what was it was 300.
So the original Switch was 300. The Switch OLED was 350,
Yeah,
and then I believe the Switch Lite was 250.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, if I
So
can remember.
I mean, I think it makes sense. Gaming is just kind of a expensive hobby, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But I don't think that that is too far off. Instead of making it like a $600 console, that we have already for
Hmm.
some of the systems.
Yeah, definitely, and it really just depends on the specs as well inside the machine because I've heard like PS4 Pro.
Hmm.
levels, and I think that'd be really cool. Like, obviously, we're not going to get a PS5 like with that.
Yeah. I mean, I know you and I are big basketball fans, so if I
Yeah.
can play 2K on a Switch that runs well, oh man, that's all I need.
Oh man, I tried playing 2K on the original Switch, and all the faces just look so weird. I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
it's pretty
do
bad.
it. So I switched to PS5, and I was like, oh, okay, this is better. I can handle this. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm really hoping that they at least give us like 4K gaming. Like graphics wise would be really nice. A constant 60 frames per second, that's probably too much to ask, but um, maybe for select games. Like, I'd love to play the new Zelda in 60 FPS.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But, as long as they aren't, like, dropping frame rates, is really all I'm asking for. Like, I just don't want another, like, Scarlet and Violet situation, right?
Yeah, or even Arceus. I think,
Yeah.
Arceus was better.
Hmm.
Still didn't run great, but it was both Pokemon games are fun to play. I know
Hmm.
people will complain about the way that they looked, but they still were fun.
Yeah.
And that's I think is what's important.
Hmm.
They should look better.
Yeah.
You're the number one like entertainment IP grossing machine of all time. So what are you doing?
Right.
I think the big thing for me that I want to see is just better online.
Yes, I agree. Especially in Smash. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping they do something different because the Splatoon online's pretty good. They used a new system for that, and I
Uh-huh.
believe Mario Kart has never had any online issues before. Have you ever noticed that? Like, have you ever been like kicked out of the game randomly or?
No, I mean it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is confusing like if you get hit by like an item
Hmm.
and it doesn't really show up. Just
Okay.
like it's just kind of buffering a little bit, so it's a little behind. It's got like a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, Splatoon, they used a new server as well as what was it? It was Monster Hunter
Oh,
Rise,
Rice? Yeah. Yeah.
and then Monster or not Monster, Mario Party Superstars
Hmm.
also had a uh, the new server. So I think they're figuring it out.
Hmm.
I just need to see them advertise it in a way in the trailer, I guess, that like this is a focus for them. They know that they haven't had great online in the past. Even for some of their games, I know that they want to try to keep everything as safe as possible
Hmm.
for their fans. But like some games could have used online, and they just decided no. Like leaderboards and world
Right.
championships would have been nice, but
Right.
yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think 399 is definitely the price point. As long as the specs would be like a PS4 Pro, hopefully not below that, like a PS3. I've heard people be like, "Oh, it's gonna be like PS3 level," and I'm like, the leaks say otherwise. But
yeah.
hopefully not.
Do
Um,
you Do you think that is the only design they'll have day one? It's just the black?
Ooh, that's a great question because I personally like the color Joy Cons. I like having the red and the blue and like the theme Joy Cons,
Uh-huh.
and I'm sure they'll do that. We're definitely gonna get theme Switch twos, of
Sure.
course, but
Yeah.
like on launch day, it's tough because like whatever colors would they use? Maybe like
I feel like white could look kind of
white,
clean.
yeah.
Even if they, have the same like only the colors inside of the joystick and on the side of the Switch.
Okay,
White would look kind of nice.
so maybe
Um yeah, go ahead.
So maybe like white Joy Cons and like black like sticks. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
maybe like
maybe.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
that would be really cool. And then have like the obviously the black system.
Hmm.
Okay, I could see that. That'd look pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I know people say like it looks like a
Yeah,
PC like handheld already,
yeah.
but it does look kind of clean. I wish it was probably a little more
Hmm.
creative and colorful, like I was saying at the beginning of the show. But like,
Hmm.
it looks kind of nice for a Nintendo console. It's different,
Hmm.
but it looks like they're like, okay, we're putting on our suit and tie for this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure there'll be like themed Joy Cons, more colors down the line for
Yeah.
sure. But I think like day one, it'll probably just be that.
Yeah.
Um, and especially with like the Satisfy grips and all the accessories, like I'm sure they'll make a bunch of like colored stuff as well.
Mhm.
Did you see the article about who was it? Genki went to like CES and then Nintendo came up to them and was like, "Oh, you guys shut down." That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wild. And at that point, you're like, oh, okay, well then
Oh,
this leak is real because Nintendo's
exactly.
trying to shut them down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh man, crazy stuff. All right, so we got the price. Trying to think if there's like anything else that we could like speculate on before we end the show here. I feel like we've hit a lot of good topics. I feel like we've talked about a lot. Do you have any other topics you'd like to discuss?
Snipper Clips 2.
Sniffer
Let's
Clips.
go.
I've never played it. I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it's fun. I honestly
Yeah.
thought that that should have been a pack-in title with the Switch because
Okay.
again, it's just easy to like pass a Joy-Con to somebody else, and now you're working together to
Hmm.
try to cut each other into these different shapes and pieces
Hmm.
within the puzzle that it's asking you to solve. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be something with the mouse, right? Like
Right.
kind of the same thing that they did with Switch, 1-2 Switch.
Hmm.
Um, it's got to be a gimmick game.
It's got to be something, right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if not a mouse, like what else could it be? Like there's just so many things. Like what
I mean,
else?
the way that it's shown in the trailer, like they have little
Yeah.
mouse tails, and because of the Joy-Con strap, and they're like gliding. So I think even they're like telling us, yeah, we have a mouse function in the Joy-Con.
It's got to be. Otherwise,
If it's
yeah.
not, then it's just a laser pointer for cats. That's what my
Right?
next guess is.
Oh,
Yeah.
my cats would love that.
Yeah.
Just goes crazy over it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Um. Yeah, no, I think we've nailed everything. I want to thank you so much, Cheesy, for coming on the show. You've been an excellent co-host tonight, and I
Yeah.
love getting your opinion and hearing all of your thoughts about the Switch too.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. So cool to meet you for the first time,
Yeah.
and I wish you the best on your podcast journey.
Thank you so much. You as
Yeah.
well. All right, I'll go ahead and end the show now.